Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today, we're doing a little bit of flashback with regards to the Hula Bowl. Having a chance to sit down with one of the guys that actually has been there, ended up going to Hawaii last season. His name is Ivan Mertilus. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed and highly favored, so I can't complain.
Great. Well, again, reaching out to you, checking to see where you're at, and really just wanted to get your, overall experience at that event. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and just, before we get there, give me like a brief summary of you and your career, if you don't mind. Obviously, you had a lot going on there at the beginning, but just kind of tell us like where you're from and stuff.
Oh, well, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, specifically Revere, Mass. And so I started playing football down here in Revere, and that's where pretty much I started playing high school football, and then I transferred on to St. Clement's after competing in the USA national football team as a safety. And so after that, I went on to be coached by Bob Chesney at Assumption College. And then, unfortunately, Bob Chesney, he was a great coach, but he left and went to Holy Cross. So I ended up transferring and going to junior college in Los Angeles. And that's where I became a captain and really tried to hone my skills playing safety, playing DB, just moving around, playing nickel, blitzing, just trying to learn different just schemes in the defense and just increasing my knowledge in football. So after Los Angeles Valley College, I transferred on to Lincoln University, and and that's when COVID hit. So once I transferred to Lincoln University, I didn't really get a chance to really play a lot. But by the grace of God, I got invited to the Orlando showcase, and then after the Orlando showcase, after recording 10 tackles and about 2 PBUs, I got invited to the Hula Bowl, and so after the Hula Bowl. Um, Here we are right now. But the Hula Bowl, like you said, it's just a great experience. It was the best experience I've probably ever experienced in football. Like it was just amazing. Being in Hawaii, being around high level competition, that's definitely like one of the best experiences I've ever had in life. So yeah, it was great.
So, obviously, even though you were a guy who didn't really get a chance to play it at Lincoln University, there were still some scouts that, for whatever reason, they were, keeping tabs on you and eventually gave you the opportunity to come out to Hawaii, which is really cool.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
figure, really what some people might be looking at are guys that are, involved, actually having a season. But dude, you were, just kind of, I don't know, one of these, you know, I guess surprise stories,
yeah,
of guys that you would invite. He wouldn't necessarily invite you, but somebody took a chance on you.
yeah,
Um,
definitely,
t- Tell me
definitely.
about how it felt, hearing the news to actually, or how did you hear the news? How did they communicate with you, and like how did you feel when you first got that invitation?
Oh well, I was still in Orlando after I played the Orlando All Star game. So it was the Tropical Bowl, and after playing in that game, I pretty much went back to my hotel, and I was talking to one of the guys who wanted to represent me, and he mentioned that there was another bowl game, that there was a Hula Bowl, and that a lot of guys are interested just because he was just in the loop and he was talking to a couple different people, and so that's when I first heard that my name was being moved around as for people about to get invited to the Hula Bowl, and so that's when I felt like that opportunity was about to come, and I was just really excited just hearing that I was about to get the opportunity after doing so well in the Tropical Bowl. So it was really good. It was really good. It was truly a blessing.
Yeah, one of the benefits really of going and attending some of the earlier bowl games, like the Hula Bowl, is that you might actually get a chance to, get noticed by scouts and that kind of move you up. Obviously, like you said, you were at the Tropical Bowl, and then somebody was like, you know what? we need to get you out to this other bowl game too, because a lot of guys are really interested to see you once again. I mean, and that's just kind of how it goes with like the all-star circuit. I mean, you do well in one event, you get moved up, and who knows where you would end up. I mean, obviously you went from Tropical Bowl to Hula Bowl, but I've seen guys go to Hula Bowl and end up at like the Senior Bowl. I mean, it certainly happens. So, um, tell me about Hawaii, man. I mean, was that the first time you were ever there?
That's the first time I was ever there. So, just touching down on that island, it was just good vibes. It was just great positivity and just being there because of football related reasons and just looking back on my journey and how tough it's been going through JUCO. It was definitely a great moment stepping foot on that island. Me also being Caribbean, being on the island, it was just great. So yeah, it was just amazing just stepping foot there and playing football there. So yeah.
So I mean, I realize this past go around. I mean, they may not have had like all of the things that they would have typically done for the Hula Bowl because of the pandemic. I mean, were you able to experience like any of like the culture there, even still, or were you able to get out and just kind of enjoy that, or did you not have time because of the game?
Well, we were as soon as we got there, we were met by a real rigorous schedule. So I was just real focused on just being on track with the practices and learning the playbook. So I was in Hawaii, but to me it was all business. So I just felt like I just wanted to really just show what I had, and having that opportunity coming from a really small school, I knew that I had to really focus up. So being over there, it was really nice, but I really just focused on, you know, just just keeping my head on the schedule and just keeping my head on everything that I had to accomplish. So I didn't really try to go out and enjoy the beaches or, try to have fun. So I know it sounds kind of crazy being in Hawaii, not trying to have fun, but I was just real focused and I was just really just trying to, make an opportunity out of the opportunity that I was given. So that's
No, I
why.
mean, I understand, man. I mean, it's business. I mean, whenever people really, go out to Hawaii, I mean, they think of relaxation, pleasure, whatever, however you want to, spin
Yeah.
it. But I mean, tell me about this schedule, man. I mean, you say it's a rigorous schedule, but I mean, tell me the things like your lineup that you'd had to go through with, like, in that week leading up to the
Man,
game.
so as soon as we got there, I was on a football plane pretty much because it was just all football players, all coming, meeting up in Los Angeles because that's where you had to go before you went to Hawaii. So we were just all like it was like a third of us from the Hula Bowl all on that one plane, and the plane unfortunately had some problems, so we couldn't even go on that plane, and we had to wait, and we just had to just been delayed so long. So when we finally got to Hawaii, it was like 3 a.m. and everybody who got there before, they already got there. They got their schedule. They got everything prepared. So we kind of had to quickly just eat and go straight to bed and look at our practice schedules and just jump right into it. And so they got our measurements and stuff after the fact. But we just had to really just jump into it as soon as we got there because barely got sleep, but I knew I had to go to practice and perform. So, it was just really fun just jumping right into it because I mean I love football and I just love competing. So it was just a real good experience.
Hey, I had myself on mute. I guess another thing there really is, you had the opportunity to really, you know, have some great coaches out there. I want to say Mike Singletary was your
Yeah.
coach.
Mm.
Tell me about like, I don't know, like the relationships that you were able to build there with that coaching staff, or even some of the players that you were out there with. I mean, tell me about like the coaches and the players that you were able to be there with.
Um, well, Mike Singletary, he was probably the one of the most highlight of my experience just because before the first practice I knew that I was gonna be coached by him. So while we're on the bus, I was just getting more info on him and just looking him up. And I noticed about how he was just speaking on YouTube and he was speaking about God and he was speaking faithfully. And then he spoke about how he wanted to get closer to his father. And so it really made me think about, building a relationship back up with my father after being distant. And so, it really, coming into it mentally, I feel like I was learning more about like Singletary on a personal level. And so being coached by him, getting the knowledge that he was giving me, because he's a linebackers coach, but me playing safety, me coming down playing nickel, and I always have to work with linebackers. So he taught me so much, and I really appreciated him just being there and giving me that experience. Because I mean, he's Hall of Fame caliber, and that's just glory. So, but I met a lot of good players, definitely a lot of chill, nice, cool dudes, high level guys. One guy I got to talk about, Spencer Brown. He's so chill. He's a running back. He's undrafted right now. He's at Carolina, and I just wish him the best. He's just a really cool dude. And I just met a lot of people. Zane Anderson. He's at the Chiefs right now, undrafted. A lot of cool guys who are really just down to earth and just love the game. So it was just a real good experience just being there, meeting those people, and just being around all that.
Gotcha. So, I mean, obviously, really what a lot of the evaluators are looking at, like when you're there, is actually that week of practice. And so,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, you put forth, a lot of hard work during that. But
Yeah.
tell me about the game in and of itself. I mean, tell me like actually that game and that experience, like in that game, maybe even a play, like if you had a play in that game that was special to you.
Um, yeah. So before the game, I remember I was just talking to my coach back home, my high school coach, Coach Juice, and I was just trying to just tell him about the guys that I'm playing against and what I'm trying to look for. So me playing safety, I really look for receivers and running backs and their tendencies. I also look for the quarterback's tendencies. So I was really looking at all these different guys, watching their highlight tapes, and I really noticed the running back from Coastal Carolina. Um, I wish his name's coming off my tongue, but I forget it. But he was just a great running back, and he picked up that whole program up in just that year, and he's explosive. So I remember just looking at him and just always, just looking at his tendencies and his moves. So during the game, when the game came, um, one of the plays that I made, I noticed that he was real quick and if you break down, he's always gonna make a juke move. So I just knew playing safety, I just had to fly straight at him and wrap up his knees. So that's just one of the plays that I made during the game, which I really like, just because I really prepared for that and I really just watched him over and over again, watching his moves, and so I really prepared for that.
Cool. And I just kind of want to talk to you about all of this that you had to do there. With your involvement in some of these all-star games like the Hula Bowl. How do you feel like that helped you in your preparation? I guess as you were approaching like that draft and such. So how do you think that that helped you?
Um, I think it helped me definitely mentally, just because coming from a small school, I haven't really seen too much guys who are competitive on a daily basis and who always want to get better. And so, being around that environment, being around people who are similar to me, it really gave me a good mental standpoint on where I am as a player and where I am as a person and my character. Because being around those guys, I definitely noticed that I stick out myself and that I'm a great player. And so mentally, it definitely helped me out and definitely put me in that position to really tell me that I'm ready for the next level and that I'm prepared. My hard work and my work ethic definitely takes me a long way. And so that's definitely one of the things that I had to learn before that whole draft process. So yeah, it definitely prepared me.
Great.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been during this whole interview. I mean, you can't help but notice the bling on your hand. So
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about that. I mean, that is fantastic. What in the world is that?
So this the ring from the Hula Bowl that I feel like I earned, and it's just a great great thing to have to remember from that experience. So it was truly a blessing, and I just thank God for all that. I give God all the glory. So yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, were there any other things that were like given to you like because of that? I mean, obviously you got an awesome ring, man. That thing is like it's probably
Yeah.
it's probably like half the size of my hand. But I mean, that is just a fantastic ring. That do they give that to just the winners, or do they give that to everybody?
No, they sized everybody up as soon as we came in, so we knew that regardless of win or lose, you know, we were gonna get a ring. So it was a good experience. It was a good experience of being there and being over there with like high elite players and just knowing that we all deserve this and we all deserve just something nice, to go home with. So
Yeah, and so you get a chance to keep that jersey too. You still got that thing?
oh yeah, I still got that. I still got that signed by Mike Singletary. I can show you too.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I believe you. I mean, it's just kind of neat to be able to go out there, get a jersey, be able to meet these Hall of Fame players. I mean,
yeah.
having some great coaches and stuff too. So, uh, tell me where you're at right now, man. What do you got going on?
So I'm in Boston right now. I just came back from LA. I was training with my DB coach, Chris Aguado, a great coach. He's been working on my technique and making sure that I stay low and just get better, just transition to the pros easier. Um, and also, so I just from LA, I just came back home to Boston to just keep working on my weight. I do a lot of weight training in Boston. I do a lot of weight training in different places. So. Yeah, I'm in Boston right now, hometown. So I'm just
Great. And so, I mean, you're a free agent right now. So, I mean, if somebody's interested in a safety, I mean, obviously they need to, contact you somehow. How can people get a hold of you?
so people can get a hold of me from my email. I have my email on my Instagram, and my Instagram is my first and my last name. People can also get a hold of me on my cell phone number at 617-945-6583. But yes, I'm a free agent right now. I'm gonna hop on a flight to Florida just to get some more training, to get more speed work, work with more DB coaches. So I'll just be here, just getting ready, prepared. So I'm ready whenever.
Well, I mean, Ivan, I applaud your effort and dedication to getting to the pros. I mean, I know you're very eager to get there. I mean, I know you had a great experience with your All-Star circuit there with the Hula Bowl, especially, and I feel like hopefully the relationships that you were able to build at that event will still open doors for you. So,
Yeah,
definitely reconnect with some of those people. And I mean, and I hope that by us doing this interview, will reintroduce you again to some of those people that you were able to meet. So
yeah,
I
definitely.
appreciate your time overall, bud.
Of course, I appreciate your time too.
All right, later on, man.
Yes, sir.